Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Hello dear students, I hope you're all doing well. Welcome to another video from your channel Easy Chemistry for All. I am Mr. Muad. I welcome you again. And before we go through, please share and subscribe to this channel if you hadn't done so. And let's reach our 3,000 subscriber guys, okay? If you share it and you subscribe, it will grow more popular, and then many more students can find it and benefit from it, not just here but also from other places around the world that are studying chemistry. So thank you again. So in this video we are in the chapter of acids and bases, okay? So this is in the Inspire module. It's also in the McGraw-Hill, okay, same chapter, okay? So this is just from the Inspire Chemistry book, but it's the same chapter, and we are in lesson 2, strengths of acids and bases, يعني قوة الأحماض والقواعد. Okay, so we will learn that we have strong acids and we have strong bases, weak acids and weak bases. Okay, so what are the learning outcomes? شو راح نتعلم إن شاء الله بعد ما نخلص هذا الدرس؟ شو لازم نكون تعلمنا؟ You have to relate the strength of an acid or base to its degree of ionization. يعني نربط ما بين قوة الحمض أو القاعدة، نربطها بشو؟ بدرجة تأينها. Remember the ionization of an acid? H plus and A minus. Like how much of this is ionized? So this is what we are talking about. Compare the strength of a weak acid with the strength of its conjugate base. So remember the Bronsted-Lowry definition. So we are going to compare the strength of a weak acid with the strength of its conjugate base, and then explain the relationship between the strengths of acids and bases and the values of their ionization constants. يعني في ionization constants Ka and Kb, which we are going to see inshallah. So we will start part 1 with acids, guys, okay? So we'll define strong and weak acids using the Bronsted-Lowry model. So we are focusing on the Bronsted-Lowry model. If you remember, in the Bronsted-Lowry model, the acid loses H plus and the base gains H plus, okay? And use ionization equations which we studied in lesson 1 اللي شفناها في الدرس الأول. ممكن ترجعون للفيديو موجود. Of acids to write the acidity constant equation Ka, which we are going to see. So what makes an acid or base strong or weak? This is the main or focus question. So this is the main idea, guys. In solution, يعني AQ, لما يكون المي هو solvent, strong acids and bases ionize completely. يعني الأحماض والقواعد القوية تتأين كلها، يعني كلها تتحول إلى أيونات موجب وسالب. But weak acids and bases ionize only partially. Partially means بشكل جزئي. For example, strong acid HX, okay, 100% of it, طبعا ما في شيء 100% لكن completely تقريبا 100% of it is going to become H plus and X minus في المي. But a weak acid HY, okay, maybe only 20% of it will become H plus and Y minus. ال 80% الباقية بتتم نسمها هي HY. فهذا القصد بالstrong والweak here, okay? That's what we mean by ionize, يعني making ions, alright? So these are the new keywords which we will see during the PowerPoint. And remember that an electrolyte is an ionic compound whose aqueous solution conducts an electrical current. For example, NaCl, AQ, give me Na plus Cl minus. So this is an ionic compound. ولأنها بتكون أيونات في المي because it makes ions in water, it conducts electricity. So NaCl is called an electrolyte because of this. Okay, 1 second. So remember, the hydrogen plus ion and the hydronium ion mean the same thing and are usually used interchangeably. So if we are talking about an acid, if we don't write water, then we write the H plus like this. If we have water with it, like saying it's going to be dissolved in water, then we need to write the hydronium ion, okay? Very important, so that the equation is balanced. So just trying to refresh your memory about equilibrium. If we have something like this, AB, okay, dissociates into A plus and B minus, what will be the K equilibrium for it? So remember, this is going to be the products, or the concentration of the products over the concentration of the reactants. So concentration of A plus times B minus over AB. And if the K equilibrium is 3.4 times 10 to the power minus 9 at equilibrium, which is favored? Products or reactants? So reactants are favored, اللي هم ال A plus and the B minus, because K equilibrium is less than 1. So this is a quick revision on the K equilibrium. The equilibrium constant is a value that relates the position of a reaction to equilibrium. We know how it is calculated and doesn't have units. And if K equilibrium is more than 1, product is favored, يعني you will have more products than reactants. And if K equilibrium is less than 1, it means you have more reactants than products. هذا هو معنى قيمتها أكبر من 1 وأصغر من 1. Okay. So, and we know how to write K equilibrium. For example, here we have liquid and we have gas. If I ask you to write the K equilibrium for this equation, you should say K equilibrium equals the concentration of C2H5OH gas. Why? Because in K equilibrium, we don't write solids and liquids. تذكروا من درس من chapter الايكوليبريم، الكيميكال ايكوليبريم، درسنا انه لما يكون عندي متفاعل او product في يكون solid او liquid ما نحطه في المعادلة. Where is that coming from? Actually, we actually write a constant K, which is the concentration of the products over the reactants, right? And then we multiply this by this. Okay, we do cross multiplication. All right, so you get K times the concentration of the liquid equals this. Okay, so all of this, guys, instead of writing it like this, we write it as K equilibrium. So the K equilibrium is only the concentration of the gas. Now, why is this? Because the concentration of the liquid does not change. So it's constant. So this value here is a constant. And the solid is also constant. ما يتغير. So we don't put them. لكن احنا خلينا عشان ما نتلخبط الكي equilibrium ما نحط فيها السوليد والليكويد، لكن هذا بس يشرح لنا ليش ما نحط فيها السوليد والليكويد. Because the solid and the liquid are constant and they don't change. So all of this is K equilibrium. Okay. Now, what is a strong acid? So strong acid means more ions in solution, يعني لما يكون ذايب, and it means high electrical conductivity. So HCl here, guys. So HCl, when we put it in water, it's going, well, plus water, it's going to give me H3O plus and Cl minus. So we have a lot of ions, guys. Can you see? This is the hydronium ion and this is the chloride ion. So we have a lot of the ions here. That's why the light here is actually strong. But if we have a weak acid, for example, acetic acid HC2H3OH وبعد المرات ينكتب CH3COOH إذا عدينا عدد الذرات اللي راح نلاقيها same. Okay, sorry. Yeah, if we count the number of atoms, it's going to be the same. This one plus water is going to actually give me H3O plus and CH3COO minus. All right. So weak acid means less ion and low electrical conductivity. شوف الكهرباء أو الضوء ضعيف جدا لأنه الأيون الموجب عندي واحد والأيون السالب عندي بس واحد. Here. And this is the acetic acid molecule. This is the acid. اللي هو HC2 H3O2. اوكي، لانه مش كله ذاب في المي. That's the reason why. Okay. So acids that ionize completely يعني تتأين بالكامل are called strong acids. So strong acids هي تتأين بالكامل or ionize completely because they produce the maximum number of hydrogen ions or الهيدرونيوم. Strong acids are good conductors of electricity because they produce the maximum number of ions لأنهم يتأينوا بالكامل، يتفككوا لأيونات. Now acids that ionize only partially يعني بشكل جزئي in dilute aqueous solutions يعني في المحاليل المائية are called weak acids. Okay? This is what we mean by strong and weak acids, guys. So this is very important. With a strong acid, the conjugate base is a weak base. So we are talking about acid strength in the Bronsted-Lowry model, guys. Okay, just for you to remember. Strong acid, for a strong acid, the conjugate base is a weak base. So for example, we saw this equation in the previous lesson where HX plus H2O gives me H3O plus and X minus. So this is the conjugate base, right? So it's a weak base. So equilibrium lies almost completely to the right يعني التفاعل فيه سهم بس إلى اليمين. Why? Because the conjugate base has a weaker attraction for H plus ion than does the base in the forward reaction. مين البيز اللي هي in the forward reaction؟ اللي هي الووتر، ال H2O هي هاي. طبعا عشان نتذكر هذا هو الفورورد reaction وهذا هو الريفيرس reaction. فهو شو يقول هنا؟ We know that base wants or gains H plus, right? So we have two bases here. We have the conjugate base X minus and we have H2O. Which one is stronger? The H2O here is a stronger base than the X minus. What does that mean? It means إنه الconjugate base has weaker attraction for H plus. يعني هي ما تريد ال H plus بنفس المقدرة أو بنفس القوة اللي ال H2 تريد ال H plus. عشان هيك التفاعل الأمامي راح يحصل وال H2O راح تكتسب ال H plus. So this is the reason why this reaction is almost forward, because this is a weak base. Notice that the equation here is shown with a single arrow. So this is very important. If you see a single arrow, يعني سهم واحد, that means the acid is a strong acid. And the reaction goes to completion to the right. Okay? Now, in a weak acid, the ionization equilibrium lies to the far left. Okay? يعني إذا عندي reverse reaction, الإكوليبريم يكون اتجاه بجهة اليسار أكبر من جهة اليمين. Because the conjugate base has a greater attraction for H plus than does the base in the forward reaction. So look here. This is an acid. This is a weak acid, guys. So now, a weak acid makes a strong conjugate base. A stronger conjugate base. يعني هذا weak acid, هاي الconjugate base اللي هنا stronger than H2O. So because this one is stronger than H2O, فهي راح تريد ال H plus أكثر من ال H2O. It wants the H plus more than H2O. That's why, because it wants the H plus more than H2O, so the reaction will almost lie to the left side. So HY is going to be more than these ions. And that's why this acid is weak. Okay? So the equation is shown with equilibrium arrows. So when you see equilibrium arrows, guys, يعني سهمين, it means it's a weak acid. If you see one arrow, سهم واحد, it means it's a strong acid. Alright? So this is how you can know. So this is the ionization of some strong acids. So guys, try to memorize them. ممكن نحفظ السترونج اسيدز اللي عندنا هني، واي شيء نشوفه اذا ما اعطانا معادله، طبعا اي مثال اخر نشوفه اذا ما اعطانا معادله نعتبره ويك اسيد، طبعا بناء على السؤال. ممكن السؤال يقول لك انه هو سترونج. اوكي. So hydrochloric, hydroiodic, perchloric, nitric and sulfuric acids, all of them have one arrow, so all of them are strong acids. Hydrofluoric, acetic, hydrosulfuric, carbonic, hypochlorous acids، هذيل الاسيدز كلهم weak. Why? Because there is a double arrow here. يعني ما يتأينون بالكامل، هذيل يتأينون بالكامل. Alright? So which acids dissociate completely in aqueous solution? Of course, only strong acids, right? Now we go and talk about the equilibrium constant, because we are talking about equilibrium, right? We saw the double arrow, and that helps us define the degree of ionization of an acid. يعني يساعدنا على معرفة مدى أو درجة تأين الأسيد. Okay? So have a look at this example, guys. HCN plus H2O gives me H3O plus Cn minus. If I tell you what is the K equilibrium for this reaction, what you are going to tell me, it's the products, صح? concentration over the reactants اللي هو ال HCN. We don't put water, remember? We don't put liquid. We only put aqueous or gases. صح؟ السوليدز والliquid ما نحطهم، نحط فقط الgas and the aqueous. Now in your book or some of the books they write K equilibrium equals this over water here. So they shouldn't write K equilibrium here, guys, okay? They shouldn't write it, or they can write it. So sometimes there's just a K, and the acid ionization constant اللي هو ال Ka الحين، ال A هذه جاية من الأسيد. So acid ionization constant ال Ka is the value of the equilibrium constant expression for the ionization of a weak acid. What do we mean by this? ال Ka تساوي ال K اللي فوق هني ضرب ال H2O. So Ka equals ال K times the concentration of H2O, which is equal to, what is the K, guys? Concentration of H3O plus times Cn minus over HCN times H2O times ال H2O. هاي هي هاي، وال K هي هاي المعادلة، صح؟ اللي هي هني. What happens? ال H2O goes with H2O and you are ending up with H3O plus times Cn minus over HCN. طبعا هاي هي نفسها ال K equilibrium اللي حليناها قبل ما نشوف اللي تحت، صح؟ So simply I'm telling you that the Ka is the K equilibrium. Whoa, sorry about that. Is the K. So Ka is the K equilibrium from term 1 اللي درسناها الفصل الدراسي الأول، أو اللي شفناها في الشابتر حق الكيميكال equilibrium. Okay? And you get a number here. Now Ka indicates whether products ions صح أو reactants الأسيد are favored more at equilibrium. طبعا نتذكر أقل من واحد معناها we want more reactants. We have more reactants. أكثر من واحد we have more products. So for weak acids the products tend to be smaller compared to the unionized molecules اللي هو reactant, and weaker acids have a smaller Ka, less than 1. So you have more acid and less ions. Okay? If the Ka is way than 1, then actually you have a strong acid. فنشوف هاي المعادلات، يعني إذا أعطانا معادلة طبعا من الدبل آرو اللي موجود هني we know that these are weak acids, right? والحين كمان نقدر نعرف من ال Ka. لاحظ ان ال Ka كلهم أقل من 1 بكثير, right? Because this is to the power of minus, right? So all of them are less than 1. So because of this, they are weak acids. So weak acids have small Ka. All right? In the equation below, CH3COOH is, طبعا نفس ما قلت لكم هذا هو نفسه H اللي موجود هنا. Let me show it to you. Yeah, this thing guys is the same as CH3COOH. هو نفسه الأسيتيك acid, okay? So هو H C2 H3O2. So this is because of the double arrow, it's a weak acid. Okay. And now they are saying write the ionization equations and acid ionization constant expressions for these acids. So the ionization equation هذه من lesson 1 شفناها في lesson 1. Okay. الacid ionization constant اللي هو ال Ka. So let's start with 12A. So على حسب, you can do it like this. H plus ClO2 minus, or you can write it as HClO2 plus H2O gives me H3O plus ClO2 minus. إذا استخدمنا هاي المعادلة ال Ka راح تكون the concentration of H plus times ClO2 minus over HClO2, right? وإذا استخدمنا هاي المعادلة ال Ka بتكون H3O plus times ClO2 minus over HClO2. Okay? So again, here you can do the same thing, هاي ال H plus وهاي ال NO2 minus, and here H plus and IO minus. Alright? And you can try to solve these questions, guys. And you can find the answers here. So this is the answer for A, for B, for C, for 13, and for the challenge question, okay? Alright. Now we go to part 2, guys. So part 2 is the same as part 1. هذا البارت هو نفسه نفس البارت 1, but now we are talking about bases, مش acids. Okay? So we are talking about bases. So we'll define strong and weak bases, and we will use the ionization equations and to write the basicity constant. اتذكروا كان عندنا الاسيديتي constant Ka, basicity constant equation ال B جاية من البيز. Okay? So same thing. A base that dissociates completely into metal ions and hydroxide ions is known as a strong base. So these are strong bases. Okay? هذا تعريف strong base اللي هي تتفكك إلى metal ion. طبعا ال Na هذا metal. So group 1. ال K موجودة في group 1. ال Rb موجودة في group 1. CS موجودة في group 1 في الجدول الدوري. ال Ca وال Ba موجودين في group 2. All of these are strong acids, guys. Strong bases عفوا. These are strong bases لأن عندنا سهم واحد لما يتفككوا في الماء يتأين. Okay? And they make metal cation and a plus ion or a positive ion and the OH minus. Okay? Now a weak base ionizes only partially in the dilute solution. يعني يتفكك شوي منها. Okay? And this is the base ionization constant, ال Kb, اللي هو نفس تعريف ال Ka لكن for the base. Okay? So it is the value of the equilibrium constant expression for the ionization of a base. So if we look here, this is a methylamine. Okay, this is an organic compound which we'll study in the next term, inshallah. But it is a base. So whenever you see the word amine, it's a base. You can see it here, amine, amine. Okay. So what's the equation for this? The equation is actually CH3 NH3 plus H2O gives me NH4 plus CH3 NH yeah, there's a mistake here. Methylamine is actually 2 here. It's not 3. Okay. So this is CH3 and H2 methylamine. Okay, it's here. So sorry, this is 2. So when we do this, I have no idea why I added an H4 plus here. My apologies, guys. So what will happen is this one, okay, it will gain H plus, and this one will lose H plus, because this is a base. Remember, تعريف البرونشتلوري. So this will be CH3 NH3 plus, because it had 2, now it's 3, plus OH minus. So this is AQ, this is liquid, this is AQ, and this is liquid. So what's going to happen? We'll write the KB. So KB is the product. This one is AQ again. Okay, sorry about that. AQ, 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 liquid. So write the products, okay, over the reactant. And water is not here because it is a liquid. And remember, KB and Ka and K equilibrium, in general, we don't put S or liquid. And these are some of the weak bases, because we have the double arrow here. And why are they weak as well? Because weak bases have smaller values of Kb, so way less than 1. This is 0.0005, okay? For example, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yes, okay? And so on. So these are weak because small Kb. طبعا this is measured at 298 Kelvin, okay, اللي هي 25 درجة سيليزية, 25 degrees Celsius. So if we change the temperature, these values are going to change. Remember, we covered this when we studied chemical equilibrium. So now let's go and do let's do 15A and C. Okay, so 15A. Write ionization equations and base ionization constant expressions, so Kb, for the following bases. Now, in the exam, they might not tell you this is a base or not. So if you see amine, you should know it's a base. So you can do it like this: C6H13 NH2 plus H2O. Because this one is a base, it will gain H plus, right? So it will be C6H13 NH3 plus, and water will lose or donate H plus, so it will become OH minus. So the Kb is going to be C6H13 NH3 plus times the concentration of OH minus over the concentration of the hexylamine, okay, or hexylamine. All right. طبعا if you want to do, you can do this. This is AQ, this is liquid, this is AQ, and this is AQ as well. Okay. Now let's do 15C. So CO3 minus 2 plus H2O. Okay, so again, this one is the base, right? So it will get an H plus. So gain H plus. So in the products we'll put HCO3. طبعا لأنها أخذت موجب واحد وناقص 2. So plus 1 minus 2 equals minus 1. So the new charge here is minus. So minus means minus 1. لكن احنا ما نكتب الواحد في الكيمياء in chemistry. Okay? Plus OH minus, because this one loses the H plus. So the K is B. The K B is going to be HCO3 minus times OH minus over CO3 minus 2. الحين في سؤال. You might ask, Mister, why is this negative? احنا لازم دائما يكون عندنا positive و negative, صح? You might think. No, it doesn't have to be always positive and negative. It depends on what you have, okay? That's all what we are doing. So basically here, what we did, الشحنة هني كانت 0. So we said 0 plus 1 because it gained H plus لأنك كسبت موجب واحد من ال H. So it will be plus 1 or plus. And that's why we wrote the plus here. فإحنا نطبق على حسب شو الشحنة الأولى اللي تكون. الشحنة الأولى نزود عليها 1. ولما نفقد ال H الشحنة ناقص 1. شحنة ال H2O هني كم؟ 0. 0 ناقص 1 يساوي ناقص 1 أو اللي هي minus. عشان شي الشحنة here is negative. Alright? Yeah, I guess that's it. Okay? So, yeah. There are your solutions, guys. You can do the rest and then you can check your solutions here. Okay, you can stop the video and check your solutions here. Don't worry about the pages. ممكن يكون عندكم في الكتاب أرقام الصفحات غير. So don't worry about the pages, okay? So the expression shown below is it is the base ionization constant. So it's Kb, right? For this base. So this is the base. So this is methylamine. Which is the weakest base shown in the table? So the weakest base, guys, means the lowest Kb. لما يقولنا ال weakest base, lowest Kb. لما يقولنا strongest يعني ال highest K. طبعا ممكن إذا كان acid Ka, إذا كان base ال Kb. Okay? So of course the weakest here is this one, right? Because this is to the power of minus 10. So it will be aniline. And that's the end of the lesson, guys. I hope it was understandable. Again, as I always tell you, إذا شفتوا الفيديو سريع بطئوه، إذا شفتوه بطيء سرعوه. ممكن تستخدموا الكابشنز، يعني نستخدم اللي هي السبتايتلز، الترجمة، يعني موجود الكتابة if you need. And this is the summary. These are some of the main questions in the summary or in the end of the lesson, You can try and solve them, okay? And these are the solutions, guys, okay? So that's the end. Thank you very much for watching the video. Don't forget to share and subscribe. Please, if you did not subscribe right now. نفعل جرس التنبيه عشان لما ينزل الفيديو يجيكم notification. والباوربوينت بإذن الله بتحصلونه في جروب التليجرام. If you have any comments, anything, you can always talk to me here or in the comment section on YouTube. All the best, guys. See you in the next video, inshallah.